Turn your volume up. So let's talk about today, changing your mind. I totally get it. You might have had this one goal, the one thing that you were really focused on and going for, and you told the world. And now maybe as you're getting closer to it, maybe it's right in front of you and you realize, I don't even want that anymore. But what do? How do you save face? Because you've told everybody all about this goal, this plan, what you're going to do, your grand thing. And what if they just feel like it's flavor of the week? How are you going to adapt from there? So that's what I want to talk to you about today. So today we'll talk a little bit about why it's okay to change your mind. How do you know that changing your mind is the right decision, or if it's a fear-based decision? And then what? Where do you go from there? But before we get started, let me remind you how to engage. You can use emojis, GIFs are great. Put some notes in the conversation box down below. Let's have a little chat. DM me, share it with your friends, whatever you want to do. Let's talk about this. Have you ever been in a position where you set the world towards one of your goals and then you realized, shit, I don't even want that anymore. And then what? How do you go from there? So before we get started, let me just tell you about me in case we've never met. I'm Kathy Frango. I'm a certified life coach. I coach the rock stars, the rebels, the high creatives, the artists, and the trailblazers. I do light the path for the way showers and the change makers. There has to be a better way chanters, and the I want to be more, do more, give more breathers. So I am also your guide to playing in your unlimited possibilities and in your high potential. Okay, let's get right into it. So when you're talking about change and looking at change, it can be a little daunting, and you might try something on and then figure out that it's not the right thing. And that's what everything should be about: experimenting, trying new things, sampling. I call it low risk practices, trying stuff on for size and seeing if it fits and then making adjustments. And this morning, while I was getting ready for my day, I had this realization about why you should be able to change your mind. So I was putting in my contact. I realized that I put one contact in backwards. So it immediately was irritated and agitated. And if you've ever done that, you absolutely know how it feels. It just grates on you, and it's, no amount of talking yourself through it is going to make it any better. So what I did first, I thought, I'll just blink. I'll just work through it. I'll adjust it a little bit. Hopefully you're not grossed out by eye things. I'll adjust it. I'll adapt. Maybe I can just give it some time and it will get better. Guess what? It didn't. So what did I do? I took it out immediately, thank goodness. And by taking it out, I had instant relief. I left it out, showered with one contact in, and then got the other one back in after I gave it a little bit of space. But through that, I realized, what if I had decided I'm just going to live with this? I'm just going to hang on to this contact in my eye backwards all day long. It wouldn't have done anybody any service, and it would have been this irritant for me all day. Sure, I probably could have functioned because my other eye would have made up for it, but why bother? Why do things that aren't in the best interest for you? So let me just talk about how you can apply this to you and when you're making decisions. So you might notice when you're making a decision or you're facing something that seems daunting, that it looks uncomfortable, it feels uncomfortable. You're standing there trying to breathe through it, or light a candle just to get through it, but it just feels like it's not the right thing to do. So a couple things that you can do is check in with your body. Everybody's body does show them signs of how things are feeling, and so if you just pause and think, is this the right thing for me? Am I doing this for all the right reasons? And kind of ask yourself, is this a positive decision or a fear-based decision? Watch where in your body you notice those trends. For me, I get a pressure right in my chest, and it feels like a thumb is pushing down on me if it's the wrong decision. And if it's a right decision, actually I get the feeling in the same place, but it's different. It's a warming that comes from my chest out. And so that's one of my signs. When I check in, I can totally see how that feels. It's another thing that you might want to do is talk to somebody. Talk to somebody who does not have a vested interest in what you're going through. Because if somebody has an interest in it, they might have their difference of opinion. But when you're having those first thoughts thinking, geez, I don't know if this is the right thing for me, maybe if you talk to somebody about it, that would help. And as you're going through it and figuring out, do I proceed? Don't I proceed? Just kind of gut check and say, you know, what should I do for myself on that? And then take action. Like really, sometimes it's just declaring that now's not the time for this idea that you had, and you just want to sit with it for a little bit and talk to other people about it, and kind of, I call it like getting the thought out there, whispering it to other people, kind of floating it by other people and saying, you know, I had that decision, but I'm not that person now. I'm not in that position now to do it. So after you, you know, make your decision, ask yourself, is this fear-based, not fear-based? Talk to other people, make your decision. And then when you're in the now what is about leaving some space and figuring out what's the right thing for you. So just a quick recap. Wrong fit, totally understandable. If it feels wrong, it probably is. It could feel uncomfortable and not. Ask yourself, if you're just trying to talk yourself through something, does it feeling like duty or like you're pulled to it? Does it feel light and easy or expansive? And I promise you, easy isn't always simple, but easy feels easy. It's like the natural path that you should be doing. And then, you know, if you're mantraing and candling and shit like that, as great as they are and as much as I love them, they have their place. If you're doing it to get through something, you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. And check in with your body, talk to somebody, talk out loud, declare it, find a safe, comfortable place to talk about it. And then ask yourself, so what? Now what? Now what am I going to do? What's my new thing? It's okay, totally okay, to change your mind about goals and dreams and plans and actions that you had. 100% okay. Just like wearing a contact that's inside out and backwards and not comfortable, why would you put yourself through it? Life is so, so, so precious. And I just hope for you that you do the things that are good for you and yours. Have a great day. Bye.